Check out how packed my shop is. I have 5 vehicles in here right now, so there's not a whole lot of wiggle room between projects. And I've got, axles and suspension and tires and crap everywhere. But we can still see our couple of Overlander rigs right over here. Let's take a look. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to start a brand new build series and I'm extremely excited about it. I have been wanting to do an Overlander build for a long time. What got me into Jeeps in the first place was the fact that I bought a 4x4 right when I graduated high school, and I bought it to use for camping. I love camping, I love the outdoors, and I wanted something that was more capable than the 78 Cutlass Supreme that I had in high school. So that led me to a 1987 S10 Blazer, and compared to the Cutlass Supreme, the thing was great off-road. I had so much fun in it that it got me a lot more geared towards the trail side of going off-road, and so from there I bought a few different rigs. I ended up with a 2002 Jeep Wrangler, and I've just been slowly building it over like the last 15 years or so. But this whole overlanding thing started a few years ago, at least that's when it got on my radar. And it's really gotten me excited about getting back into the camping side. There's a part of that has been so attractive to me. I like to backpack. I love, the gear. I love everything about it. Just getting out and away from national parks. It's awesome to be able to get out there and have that privacy and have that experience. You can put all your gear in there. You've got this whole system set up. You get to just take your family out for the weekend. You get to camp, and it's not just about camping. Overlanding is a lot about luxury. It's a lot about good food. It's about being comfortable. There's so much more to overlanding than just camping. Like whenever I graduated high school, you just get a bunch of Walmart tents and a Walmart sleeping bag. You'd roast some hot dogs over a fire, and that's fun. I loved it. But the older I'm getting, the more I'm really liking the appeal of trying to make it as comfortable as possible. So an Overlander to me is something that's really comfortable off-road. I definitely want AC to work. I don't mind saying that I like heated seats. There's different creature comforts that are really valuable whenever you're putting a ton of miles on your rig off-road. This also fits into another thing that I'm kind of passionate about, and that's overlooked 4x4s. I think that people get into these grooves of what is a good 4x4 and they just put these blinders on. There's so many good 4x4s out there that I think are super underutilized. And when you see the 2 4x4s that I'm about to tell you about, I'm gonna get hate in the comments, and I'm prepared, guys. Go ahead, hit me with your best shot. But I truly believe that these 2 vehicles that we're gonna build in this series are really good, really cheap, and really underrated 4x4s. We have got a 2005 Jeep Liberty diesel and a 2003 Land Rover Discovery gas. An Overlander for me has to be diesel. It's fuel efficient, it's torquey, it's everything you want. It's reliable if it's built by the right company, and it's something that is a must for me in a vehicle that's gonna go off-road, a vehicle that my wife is gonna be using, and everything else. That being said, this Land Rover Discovery is a gas because they don't offer it as a diesel in America. We have a Volkswagen TDI in this Jeep, we have a Mercedes diesel in this Jeep, and this will end up getting diesel swapped if we use it off-road and we enjoy the crap out of it. We're gonna build it as a good Overlander on the suspension side and everything else, but as far as the engine goes, we're gonna push that off to the last thing we do because it's expensive and it takes a lot of commitment. I searched far and wide for a Jeep Liberty diesel. They made these in America for 2 years, 05 and 06, and we wanted one that was fully loaded. I wanted my wife to be comfortable, and it's got leather, it's got a sunroof, it's got a bunch of features that were musts for us because we like to be comfortable when we travel, and we travel a lot. As you can see, there is a tire size difference between these 2 vehicles. We've got the Liberty, which is on stock tires. The Land Rover's already on 33s. Not lockers, but it's got killer traction control. You can see there's mud on it. I tried to wash it really good, but very recently, I took it off-road to put it through its paces and see how good it is. One of the things that's overlooked with these Land Rover Discoveries is the fact that it's got a straight axle in the front stock. That's what everybody likes off-road, and this has it. This has IFS, which a lot of people hate. You won't be able to see that probably. It's pretty dark down there. But this has IFS, which a lot of people hate, and I don't. I like IFS. I think that IFS can be made pretty decent. You're not gonna get the same kind of flex as you will out of something that is solid axle, but the ride quality of IFS is superb. And not only the ride quality, but the handling characteristics and its drivability and its ability to corner sharp and everything else is really good. I'm gonna build these each a little different. I actually, instead of doing a straight axle on this, which I had been threatening to do for a long time, I'm gonna build this on IFS, and I'm gonna build it for 33s, and we're gonna probably lock it. I haven't decided how I'm gonna go about the lockers thing yet, because the cost of putting lockers on 2 vehicles is definitely pricey. So what's basically gonna happen with this series is I'm gonna build these both similar, but I'm gonna accentuate the really big positives of each one. I'm gonna accentuate the fact that this has a straight axle. I'm gonna accentuate the fact that this has IFS, and we're gonna put them both on 33s and compete to see which one we keep. Which one is gonna be good for overlanding? Which one is gonna be good for putting the kids in and going away for a weekend? What is gonna be good for just your average person to enjoy the crap out of and then be a good weekend warrior? From the back, you can definitely see a huge height difference already, and you'll notice that someone has already gone through and done a whole bunch of good aftermarket stuff to the Land Rover. Some of the stuff I really like. I think this tire carrier is brilliant. They did a hell of a job on it. Some of the things I don't like, these aren't gonna be very strong as sliders. They're good steps, and my wife does want a step, so I'm gonna keep a step on here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add some strength to the center of this or if I'm gonna redesign it, we'll see. It has an 11.5K winch on it already. That's one thing I don't have to buy. It has a lot of little good details about it, and the engine has already been upgraded and updated with new heads and whatnot. I like that the Land Rover is built because I was able to buy it and just go take it off road immediately, but I also love to build. So I'm excited to get going on this Liberty because I like to build stuff. Before it goes off road, it needs bumpers, it needs sliders, it needs a winch, you know, belly protection. It's gonna need some basics before it'll ever see dirt. One really big reason that I chose these two SUVs over the plethora of SUVs that are out there is that these two have a feature that I think is pretty unique, and not all SUVs have these, believe it or not. That feature is 4-wheel drive, 4-low, and all-wheel drive. There are a ton of SUVs that don't have all three, and I wanted to have something that had all three because not only do these need to go off-road and have a real 4-wheel drive system, but they go over snowy mountain passes a lot. We have a cabin we have access to in our family that's on the other side of the mountains from where we live, and when you're going over there, to be in true 4-wheel drive, it's good, but it's not as good as all-wheel drive. In 4-wheel drive, since your front and rear axles are getting equal power, you will notice that if you're taking a quarter at high speeds and the roads are slick, it will try to wander a little bit on you. If you drive something that's all-wheel drive, it allows that extra slip in one wheel or another from front to back, and that makes it to where it's a lot more stable whenever you're going high speeds on really slippery surfaces. But if you're in deep mud or you're in rocks, anything like that, all-wheel drive is nonsense. It will not work. You're gonna end up making it to where you put most of your power to the front or to the rear, wherever you have a ton of slip, and it's gonna struggle hard in those scenarios. Another feature that's important to me is a swing open tailgate. I think that this is good for overlanding because, you know, you've got this space available to mount a spot that you can cook on or that you can prep food or whatever else. This is really nice as opposed to something that just opens up and is on top of you. Not to mention the fact that things that open all the way up like that, they're heavy, and if the shocks give out, then, you know, they're a pain in the ass. I like this style. This is something that I've always liked. It's something that has an opening tailgate like this, and this Land Rover has it too. This has got a gigantic door that opens, which is definitely nice. It's a big plus. You can see the previous owner or someone along the line already made kind of like a custom thing back here. This is gonna go, I'm gonna make it the way I want it. Probably make something that I could put a cook stove or something like that on, and just a couple of different work surfaces. Another thing that was an important feature to us is leather. We like leather. Not everybody likes leather, and I understand the reasons that you guys don't, but leather is easy to clean. It doesn't stink. Leather is something that I've always really liked in cars, and this one's no different. Convertibles kind of suck in Washington because the weather changes so much, but sunroofs are awesome. And this one actually has two, which is a big plus for the Land Rover. It's got a full sunroof in the front, full sunroof in the back. They both slide all the way open, and that's a pretty sweet feature. The Liberty has got leather just like we like. It's got heated seats. Both of them have heated seats. We've also got a sunroof up there. All features that we really like in our SUVs. The trunk space in the Liberty is about what you would find in anything this size these days. It's definitely not too small, not too big, but the trunk space in the Land Rover is huge. So much more room for activities back here. And this has a surprise. It has 2 more seats. I had no idea they did this until we started looking at these seriously, but these seats fold down and you have 2 more seats. They're small seats, but they're seats, and I guess they feel like they're in jail with this special little gate back here. This comes off, but I thought it was kind of cool, so we just left it for now. That space that we don't have in the back is great for departure angle. The Land Rover, on the other hand, has a horrific departure angle. That's so much behind the rear tire. There is no way I'm gonna be wheeling this and not be constantly hitting that on stuff. I am being 100% honest when I say I'm uncertain about which of these vehicles are we gonna choose at the end. I really like both of them for their own unique reasons. In this series, you're gonna watch me custom build bumpers, I'm gonna build suspension components, I'm gonna build steering components, I'm gonna be building roof racks, I'm gonna be building tire carriers, I'm gonna be building all this stuff that you need whenever you're building a typical 4x4. So this is gonna get 33s in a lift kit. This is gonna just continue to be on 33s. It might get better tires because I did take this off-road and those tires are horrible in the mud. This video has pretty much been all information. Sorry there's not a whole lot of action, but I promise you in the next one, we're gonna start building stuff. I'm expecting a whole array of emotions about these 2 vehicles that I'm gonna build up, but I hope that even if these aren't vehicles that are, you know, in your wheelhouse, that you can still enjoy the different things that we're gonna have to overcome in order to make these be good off-road vehicles. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel and this is the first video you've seen of ours, please subscribe. We've got a whole bunch of content like this, a lot of how-to. I'm gonna be having a ton of adventure videos coming up as I finish these projects and get them outside. If you wanna support the Dirt Lifestyle YouTube channel, we do have Patreon and we have a website, thedirtlifestyle.com, where you can buy shirts and hats and things like that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.